All right. Are we live? We are. Welcome, everybody. As you guys come in, I know we're kind of just doing this live. Whoa, hey, there's 6 people already. What's going on, everybody? Feel free to post in the chat. We're just going to give it a little bit for some more folks to join. We sent this out to a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure Vivi, my daughter, is going to be joining us tonight. I told her about it. She was super excited, screamed, like a 5-year-old does, because she's so excited about these lives, loves doing these lives. So we'll give it a moment as people join. And we're going to be talking about some really, really good stuff. Money with a mission doesn't start with dollars. It starts with decisions, and how we talk to our children, how we talk to our friends and our family really matters, because they model everything off of that. So I think that's the most important thing. You got to write your story, right? That's the most important thing. Write your story so that your kids tell your story when you're no longer here. Hard to think about that. I wrote a book that's going to be coming out, A Key to It All. And, it was one of the hardest books I ever wrote. It was a book about, my daughter and a father telling bedtime stories. Father, technically me, but it's all told in third person. And it's all about, what we give every single day, what we do to solve other people's problems, what we do to basically give our kids, our next generation, a much better shot than we had, or set them up to know the things. And Bruce Lee said it best. He said, don't give your kids all the things they want, give them the things you never learned. And I think that's really relevant to what tonight's topic is going to be. So we got 12 people. Who else is here? I know I got Frank here. I got FCAT. Who else do we got on here? We got 17 people. I have a bunch of people coming on. We got Drew. What's going on, Drew? I'm sure there'll be more. Oh, holy cow, it just jumped up to 25, 26. Welcome, everybody. Talking about wealth and how it isn't inherited, it's modeled. We don't inherit wealth. We model it. We basically teach our kids, our family, how to handle money, how to handle wealth. And then if we do a good job, when we pass it on, our kids know what to do with it. And, I've really thought about this a lot. I mean, I've written several books, children's book, got a new book coming out in 2026, all around this, which is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this live tonight, talk a little bit about what I think is a super important thing. How many of you have kids? How you doing, Raquel? How you doing, David? From West Seneca. How about that? Awesome, David, right down the road. Yeah, we're getting hammered with snow right now. But again, as you all join, we got 29, 30 people on. We'll probably get up to about 100 as we kind of go. People come, people will go. I totally get it. But we're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about money with a mission. And that mission does not start with the dollars in your pocket or in your bank. It starts with the decisions we make today. And that is the most important thing to understand. And something that's really hard to understand, because we model so much around the tool, the money, right? Because that's what kind of drives our society. It drives our image. It drives so much of what we do. But is that really all there is? Well, I can answer that for you. I don't even need to ask the question. I can just answer that for you. I know a lot of people with significant wealth. I know a billionaire. I know a lot of other people. And I will tell you this. They might not admit this, but most of them are not truly happy, because money doesn't buy happiness. It's what we do with money that creates happiness. It's the passion that we chase that money allows us to do. You've probably seen I can't remember the movie, The Bucket List, I believe it was, where those guys were, at the end of their life, and they had their bucket list, and they went and they did all that, and those memories, that's what you take with you. You don't take the house, you don't take the cars, you don't take the bank account, the 401k, you take the memories. And those memories created with family are what really, really set the stage for the next generation. So that's what I really want to talk about. Is I want to talk about you all writing the story you want your kids to tell. What is the story when you're gone you want your kids to tell? Has anyone ever given any thought to that? So Raquel's got one son. We got 2 big kids for Frank. But I mean, think about that. Like, what is the story you want your kids? And let's expand beyond your kids. How about your family? And let's go beyond that. How about your friends or your friends' kids? Like, what story will they say or tell about you, or will there be a story at all? Because, I mean, factually, really, the one thing to think about is when we're gone, we're remembered for a little while. The people closest to us, our kids, remember us for their entire life. But like outside of that, like we're kind of forgotten, right? The cars and everything, the houses, they all get sold off, they get repurposed, they get sent to new people. But like that's really what happens, because again, like I said, wealth isn't inherited. Wealth is modeled. And it's one of the big things. So I want to just tell you all a little story, and then we'll get into this. And just let me pause there, just so you all know, in a week from tomorrow, we've got this first of the year. We're kicking off our 3-day blueprint workshop. It's probably the most amazing training we've ever put together because of the amount of time and energy we put in. So today, I'm going to be posting it up, giving you guys the opportunity to get tickets for that. They're not expensive. The VIP tickets are $97. You get like a full workbook. You get what would the Rockefellers do? We're going to mail that to you in a little care package. And then the general admission tickets are $47. So I'll put that link up throughout the night. But really, I just wanted to get into kind of my story and where all this stuff came from, because it really, really started one day when I was introduced to a new idea. Actually, before I do that, let me just put this up. That way I can kind of just go. And then when Vivi comes down here, we can just get into that. So there's the link, folks. It's BeYourOwnBank.com/BYOB-blueprint. So you can grab your tickets. Hopefully that went through on all the different channels there. But, I got introduced to this concept. I was a financial advisor, did a lot of things, had retail stores in the skate and snowboard industry. I was a financial advisor, at that point, probably 13, 14 years in. And then I also was a pro snowboarder, which brought me to Utah. And when I was in Utah, I had a meeting set up with this guy, Mike. Okay, Mike was a really wealthy real estate investor. His whole family was multi-generational. So again, kind of back to what we said, wealth isn't inherited, it's modeled. So Mike was modeled from his family, right? His family taught those things. So what story does Mike tell when his family members are gone, when his dad and his mom are gone? The stories of what he did with his family and his family's business, and how that knowledge catapulted him into the level of real estate wealth that he's at now. But anyway, I was meeting with Mike not to learn things. I just needed money. I was buying real estate. I was flipping real estate. Me and Larissa were kind of a little side hobby back then. And we needed money for deals. And Mike was introduced to me as a private lender. So he was lending on deals. So we met and I was showing him the deal. And I just asked him, I said, so Mike, how do you lend all this money? To which Mike said something I wasn't really prepared to hear, but he said, I lend from my private bank. I literally thought it meant he had a bank, but it didn't. And I kept asking him. He said, no, I don't have a bank. I have a banking system that I set up. So I kept prying, right? Just like all of you would. Like, how many of you would ask more questions if someone said that to you? Like, out of nowhere, if you ask a question to someone and they're like, oh, I do this from my private bank or my private banking system. That's kind of cool, right? It's compelling. As a financial advisor, I'm like, ooh, money. I perked right up. Probably got a big smile on my face. Ooh, wow. Private banking, what's this? And he starts telling me about this thing. He didn't tell me what it was. He said, I changed where my money goes first. I put it into this place where I earned guaranteed interest. And I don't remember how we framed it up. I'm kind of making this up, but I put it over here and I get guaranteed interest. So in my mind, if all of you heard guaranteed interest, you would narrow down the different places where you can get guaranteed interest, right? You'd be like, okay, CDs, bank accounts, you might think money markets. Maybe you would think of treasury bonds or bonds of some type that are guaranteed, but it'd be a very small grouping of things that are guaranteed interest. So then he goes on, and he's saying this fast, but this is how my brain's articulating all this. Then he says, I get paid dividends on my money every year. So that immediately took me from the guaranteed bucket over to the dividend bucket, which would be stocks that pay dividends and all these things. This is how an advisor thought. And he kept going. He says, and it's tax-free, which my mind went to Roth. And then he said, it's protected against judgments and liens. My mind went to trust. And then he said, but here's the thing. He said, when you come to me with a deal like this, what I do is I take a loan from my bank, just like anyone would take a loan from a regular bank. And I'm processing. But I'm still so confused by guaranteed interest, dividends, tax-free, protection against judgments and liens. Like, I'm still pondering that stuff, but I'm trying to stay in tune with what he's saying, because he's going pretty quick. And just like some of you probably think that's what I'm doing now. And he says, when you come to me with a deal, I take a loan from my bank and I lend that money to you. And then you pay me interest on that money, which I paid him about 15% with points. And he said, and then I take the interest you pay me and I put it back in my private bank. So I got it. So in my mind, that looked like Monopoly. It looked like a circle, right? Money started over here in this great place, earning interest, guaranteed interest, dividends, tax-free. And then he takes a loan. I'll get to that in a second, but I didn't understand that. And he moves it over here to me. And then I use that money to go make more money, but I pay him interest. He takes the interest, he puts it back over here. The money's going back to where it was. And to me, it's his private bank, to which I still thought Mike had a bank, like a traditional bank. Like, we're going to eventually go see his bank. Even though he told me he didn't, I still thought he did. So then I'm starting to think, okay. But then he drops the bomb on me. He says, here's the difference, Chris. He said, the money that I took from the account, that loan I took, my money never left the account. So my money's still earning that guaranteed interest and dividend. So I'm earning compound interest over here. You're paying me interest over here. So I'm making money twice on the same dollar. I'm like, what? I got clients like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, dude, give me this. Like, this is the Q-tip. This is the toothpick. Like, what is this? Like, I need this. My clients need this. You're making money twice. You're making guaranteed interest here. You're making interest from me. And then you're just putting it back over here. And he didn't give me all the specifics, but then he says, yeah. And I'm sold. I mean, come on. How many of you are like, yeah, hell, shit, sign me up? Or some of you are probably thinking, that sounds too good to be true, which I was thinking that in the back of my mind, but I knew Mike. Mike wasn't a bullshitter. He was kind of an honest, real dude. And I'm just like, okay, this is pretty crazy. Like, holy crap. And then I asked him, I said, so Mike, like, this private bank, like, what is it? And to which he very quickly kind of looked at me and he's like, well, you should know what this is. You're a financial advisor, right? I felt stupid. I felt kind of embarrassed that, like, I asked him that because, well, of course, I'm an advisor. I should definitely know what this is. And just so you all know, financial advisors typically have an ego. And I had an ego as well. Any of you have a financial advisor? Any of you? Like, do they have an ego? Probably, right? They think they know everything about money and investing and everything else. And I'll be the first one to tell you. And I don't have to be the first one. My folks over at PMC Wealth, Stefan, who's like a brilliant, he's like a savant in this industry. He'll tell you, like, most advisors act like they know everything and they know very little. You know, there's an old saying in Wall Street, trying to remember how it said, you know, people come to Wall Street in a Rolls Royce to take advice from someone that took a cab to work. Kind of the same idea. But back to the story. So Mike was telling me this, and he said, you should know what this is. And I'm like, okay, yeah, what is it? I just didn't know what else to ask. What is it? And then he tells me, and I wasn't prepared for the answer. He says it's a special, I think he said it was something like I think he said it's an engineered whole life insurance policy, to which I didn't know. I knew what whole life was. But as soon as he said that, I didn't hear anything else. Immediately the warnings came up, right? It's kind of like signs everywhere, signs. All these warnings are flashing in front of me. And I'm just like, what? Mike, you've been bamboozled, dude. I was a financial advisor, dude. We didn't sell whole life. I mean, we sold whole life for like final expense policies because they lasted forever. And because universal life was more prevalent for using for estate planning and the other things we use life insurance. But I was an investment guy. I managed money. I was the suit and tie investment guy, the big guy, the ego guy, the guy that drives the fancy BMW and all that stuff. Anyway, that whole industry, I'm not going to unpack that tonight because I really want to stick to the mission of what I'm trying to explain is that money with a mission doesn't start with dollars. It starts with decisions. And the message we leave, the story we're going to write that our kids are going to tell starts today. You've got to make those decisions today because that's the key point. Mike just told me about this new thing. I threw up all the flags. At first thought, I thought what you all would think about whole life insurance. That's the worst place you can put your money. That's overpriced, high commission, because I knew what the commissions were on it. But he had said engineered, to which I remember that. And I'm like, what is this engineered thing? He said, no, these are specially designed and engineered. He said they're a lot like the banks, because he had mentioned bank earlier. And now he said they're a lot like what the banks buy. And I had heard about BOLI in my industry. I was a financial advisor. We knew what BOLI was. And BOLI, yes, was whole life insurance sold to banks. And there was a whole division at the company I was at, New York Life and ILF Securities, that did BOLI for the banks. And these guys made bank. Okay. But it was really hard to get into that division. You had to, I don't even know what it took. But nonetheless, he said that. So I kind of got it. And he says, well, the policies this policy, when I put money in it, I have my money available immediately. But I was still hung up on the simple fact. Let's go back to that basic thing that I was hung up on. I didn't need to get into the details. He's making money twice on the same dollar. His money's still compounding while I'm paying him interest. Both of them are making him money, and he isn't working any harder, taking on any more risk. I'm the risk in this equation because this policy over here is guaranteed. The interest he's earning is guaranteed. The dividends are not, but the interest is. So I was there. So I said to him, I said, Mike, you got to show me how to set this up. I need to set one of these up. He said, I can't. This guy, Brent, did it for me. So he connected me with Brent, and obviously the story's the rest. But the whole point is like, that was my entry point. That was my first exposure to this amazing thing, privatized banking, infinite banking, BYOB, like my sweatshirt says, be your own banker, all those different things. Like, that was my first time hearing that. For some of you on here, there's 60 some people on here. Welcome to everybody. Patty, everybody else that's here, welcome. And like I had mentioned earlier, let me just pause again. We've got a big event going on a week from tomorrow. It's our Blueprint event, probably our most amazing event we've ever put together. And there's a ton of amazing presenters that are teaching this concept that I heard from Mike, and then a lot of other things. I mean, this concept will allow you to get all the money back for every car you buy, drive, and own. Instead of using the banks, instead of leasing from the dealerships or from the car manufacturers, you're the bank. The payments for your car go to you. Imagine that. All of you have a car. Many of you lease. Many of you financed. Many of you bought with cash. All three of those different ways you bought cars have problems. Number one, I'll give you the first one. A lot of you are thinking, oh, buying cash is the ultimate. I save up the money in the bank. I take it out. I pay cash for the car. You just bought the worst depreciating asset. Maybe not all cars, but for the most part, most cars depreciate horribly. If you got a Tesla, they're the worst. Okay, I have one. It's one of the worst depreciating vehicles you'll ever have. Thank God I bought it depreciated. But nonetheless, here's what happened. You bought a vehicle, an asset that's going to go down in value. You used cash that you saved that maybe was or was not earning interest. But when you took that money out and bought the car, here's one fact. That money can never work for you again. So all the earning potential on that money you paid cash for the car, 30, 40, 50,000, whatever the car was, you'll never earn money from that money again. That money can never work for you again. And you have a car that's going to depreciate and be worth significantly less. Problem number one. Problem number two, financing. Okay, simple, right? Most of us finance cars. I've financed lots of cars with banks. And when you do that, you make monthly payments of principal and interest to the bank. How many times have you actually looked at how much money you are paying to the bank in interest over those 5 years? Yeah? You didn't look? You didn't want to look? You kind of closed your eyes? It's bad. A lot. So that's the fault there. You're paying somebody else's bank and you're losing all the interest. Oh, and by the way, yes, it's nice because you didn't have to come up with money out of pocket, but you lost money every month. And the money you lost every month was way more than what you would have paid if you paid cash. But you don't think of it that way. You got the thing you wanted. Oh, by the way, the car depreciates. Leasing is my favorite. Leasing, you lease the car. You don't even own it. You're just borrowing it. You're just renting the car. And you make a payment of principal and interest to the car dealership. It's not called principal and interest because it's not. You don't own the car. It's a lease. It's a lease payment. But in there's interest. So they're earning interest on you. Plus, you're just giving all the money away for the right to drive the car. Then you hand the car back in. Some of you are going to be like, oh, there's a tax write-off. Yeah, oh, okay, got it. Okay, so those are the three ways we buy cars. But what if you were the bank? What if you had a bank and you borrowed money from your bank, but your money never left your bank and your bank paid you a really good interest rate? Let's call it 3.25%. What if you got a guaranteed interest rate at your bank of 3.25? Now, I know a few months ago before the Fed acted, that wouldn't be unusual to get 3.25 at a bank. But today, that's quite a good bank account rate of return. From what I'm seeing, the average savings account rate across the country is like 4.46%. So if you're getting 3.25, you're doing pretty freaking good. But then let's just say your bank gives you a zinger, and let's say it's a credit union, and you get a dividend, and the dividend plus the interest gets you up to close to 6%. Now you'd be telling all your friends. You'd be out there being like, oh my God, this bank, it's the most amazing thing. I'm getting 3.25% guaranteed, and that guaranteed interest rate never changes the rest of my life. As long as I got money in the bank, I'm earning 3.25. And then also every year they pay me a dividend. Hear me out, folks. Follow this. Frank's saying too much. But follow this. Like just put your head away from what we're talking about and just think about this. You found a bank. That bank pays you 3.25% guaranteed interest, and it never changes, even if the Fed drops it. And that bank is a mutual bank. I don't know, make it up. And they pay you dividends every year. And the dividend plus the interest is right now around 6%. You'd be like, heck yeah. But then your bank account serves kind of like a Roth IRA where all the growth you're getting on that interest and dividends is tax-free. Wow. But then let's keep going. Let's say then that same bank account that you let me pause there. You'd go out and tell all your friends about it, wouldn't you? You would literally tell all your friends about it. Someone's asking where I'm from, Buffalo, New York. You tell everybody about it. So then now it gets better though. See, that same bank account, you can keep your money in the bank, and anytime you need money, anytime for any reason, no questions asked, no credit applications, no credit pulls, soft or hard, none of that. When you need money, this bank says, just come ask us. As long as you've got that much in your account, what we will do is we will lend you bank money, and we'll lend that bank money at a lower interest rate than what you're being paid in interest and dividends. What would that mean to all of you? I just put that link up there again. If any of you want to grab tickets for next week's, starts Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Blueprint event. Pretty epic event. Okay. And I know some of you probably want to know more about that. So I'm just going to give you a little info and then we're going to get back to the story. But just hold on that, right? That'd be a pretty freaking awesome thing. You can earn more than what you can borrow from the bank. Most of you are like, you had me at that. But your interest rate never goes down. It's locked in contractually, stays the same. You get dividends, okay? All these things. And I'm going to explain, could you explain how you bought your home using the policy? I didn't buy my home using the policy, so I'll get to that. Thanks for bringing that up, Jay. But the thing I wanted to talk about again is this event that starts next Friday, the Blueprint event. I got the link up there, so you can get your tickets. $47 for the general admission, and it's $97 for the VIP tickets. The VIP tickets, you get a bunch of extra stuff. 2 extra sessions, Friday and Saturday. So the event goes like 10 to 4, and then VIP just allow in your calendar 10 to 5, okay, because that extra session could go long. 10 to 4, Friday and Saturday next week, or sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, but Friday and Saturday are the extra VIP special events. Oh, awesome. Here comes my daughter. Okay, so we're just so any of you that are just joining, because we got 85 people, I want you all to know that we're talking about money with a mission doesn't start with dollars. You coming back, Beth? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Money. Oh, she's got to get her clothes on. She had clothes on, didn't she? She wasn't naked, was she? Just kidding. Money with a mission doesn't start with dollars. It starts with decisions. Write the story you want your kids to tell. That's why my daughter's coming down here. She just loves doing these lives. How many of you love having your kids part of things that you do, right? Imagine if the business you're in and what you do, your kids loved what you do. What is that message? Are they going to tell that story when you're gone? Are they going to tell that story to their friends' parents? Of course they are. My daughter loves cats. So she drew all these pictures for all of you. She literally, I'm not kidding you. And I'm going to get back to how I bought my house in a second. She drew all these pictures for all of you. She knew we were doing this live and she wanted to prepare some pictures. Now don't tell her that I showed these because she might've wanted to surprise you. Okay. But we'll go over these pictures in a second. But my daughter learns about BYOB all the time. We go up and she's got like a little, toy piggy bank and a toy vault where she puts her money. We take it out, we count it. We pretend back when it was Paw Patrol, now it's Bluey. Okay, so now Bingo will lend money to Bluey and Bluey will have to pay Bingo back. So this is how I teach money in the infinite banking concept to my daughter. And this is just simple ways. You make it fun. You make it a game. Okay. One toy or one character, we'll call it Bluey, and then Bingo, okay? Bluey and Bingo, if you don't know what that is, or Paw Patrol, okay? You got Chase, and then you got all the other characters. You just make one of them. They all want to buy things, right? Bluey's always wanting ice cream, always loving the car that Dad drives. Big Blue Guy is what I call him. But real quick, let me pause. Do I still do calls on Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Yes. Yeah, we still do 6 webinars every week. So we do 6 webinars every single week. Okay. Mondays, we do Money Club Monday. Tuesdays are Take Back Control Tuesday. Then Wednesdays, we do WTF in the morning, okay, which is a really cool show on StreamYard, just like this. So if you made it here, you can make it to WTF. You got to kind of have a little thick skin. I do swear a lot on that one. It's kind of my venting, but we go over the news and rant and rave. Then Wednesdays, afternoons at 1, we do Wealth Webinar. We do Ask Anything Happy Hour at 4:30. And then Thursdays, we do Quick Start. Okay, so those are the webinars we do. But tonight, we're talking about next week's Blueprint Workshop, a 3-day workshop. 10 to 4 every day, VIP, open up till 5. Cost for that webinar, $47 for general admission. And that general admission gets a workbook. We have a beautiful workbook that we're going to email to you. Oh my goodness. Look at her. Are you a firefighter tonight? Vivi, we're talking about BYOB and we're talking about buying cars. If you were going to buy a car, how would you buy a car? Where would the money come from?
BYOB.
It would come from BYOB, your own banking system. I was just telling them the story on how me and you, like, would.
Can you read this?
Can I read this? Well, there's nothing to read. I showed it to him. It's a kitty cat.
No, it's something. 3 pictures are in there.
What?
3 pictures are in there.
3 pictures are in here? Well, let's ask the audience if they know, right? Does anyone know? Can anyone see the 3 pictures in there? Let's see what you can all say. What 3 pictures are in there? Now, let me look at it. So we got a kitty cat with purple ears and purple stripes. Is this an A down here? That's an A? Aw, this is precious. Who is this? Is this Daddy with a snowboard? Okay. So we got Daddy over here with a snowboard. And then I'm on a mountain or on a hill. And then this is you in the middle. And then this is Mommy over here. Where's Mommy?
No, this is a skier.
Oh, that's a skier. Well, where are you? Right here? Oh, this is Vivi. Oh, you left Mommy out. Don't tell her that. That's Vivi over here. And see, she's got her snowboard on. And then this is a skier. Why is the skier falling down the hill? Vivi, am I teaching you anything? Am I teaching you that skiers fall downhill? No, that's not what I teach you. All right, that's that one. So the snowboarding picture, and then we'll come back to that in a second. What is this awesome picture? What is this picture?
It's a Bob Ross.
It's a Bob Ross? Any of you know who Bob Ross is? Again, you know, like I keep saying, write the story you want your kids to tell. You know, we used to watch Bob Ross. I love drawing and art and painting, and me and Vivi paint all the time and draw all the time. And Vivi loves firefighters. She's got her special, let me show you. She's got her special firefighter pants on. You love these pants, don't you? And then she's been wearing gloves because firefighters wear gloves into fires. And then she's got the glasses on. What are the glasses for? Just because you're too cool for school? I figured that was it. All right, Viv. So we're talking about how Daddy learned to be his own bank. And she's got her Paw Patrol wallet or watch on. Vivi, hey, real quick before you go somewhere, do you remember back when we used to learn how to be your bank? And remember when Chase used to lend? Who did Chase used to lend to? Ryder? Or was it Ryder lending money to Chase? Because Chase wanted to buy all those cars, those really cool Paw Patrol cars. Do you remember that? And you remember how that worked? Chase would take money from his, or Ryder would take money from his bank, lend it to Chase. Chase would pay Ryder back. You remember all that? So these are the different things. It's so important that what we teach our kids is what they remember and how they live a better life. And that's a lot about what we're going to be teaching at this 3-day workshop, the blueprint. It really is. Now, let me come back over here. There's a couple of questions. What's up, Felix?
Daddy, can you help me something to get out?
What do you mean help you something to get out?
Please.
Well, I'm on...
My firefighter truck.
Oh, you want your firefighter truck? Can you get it? Can you try to get it? She's got this firefighter truck. You guys are going to get the whole show tonight. So let me just explain. Somebody had asked me earlier, hopefully they're still on did I use my policy to buy my house? No, we didn't use the policy. We took a mortgage out for the house, but here's what we did. We then got a first lien HELOC. So we just did this, I think it was last year. We took a first lien HELOC, and now what we do is we put all of our income. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me finish my thought here. We put all of the money from our bank account into this HELOC, which reduces the APR, and we've been rapidly paying that down. Now, we had to take the HELOC out because I got hit with a big tax bill, and nobody likes taxes, right? Which is why these policies in the infinite banking concept, the growth in the policy is tax-free. That's a great thing because I don't like paying taxes on money that grows. I really don't. And I don't want to pay taxes in the future, and I don't want her to have to pay taxes on growth because by the time her policy, I did a policy for her at 6 months old, and I did another one. How old were you when I did the second one? 3, 4, something like that. She's got 2 policies now. She might even have 3. Gosh, I think it's 2. And by the time she is 20, that's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's going to be growing rapidly because of the uninterrupted compounding. Now, we're going to use that money to fund her schooling. Right now, she goes to a private school. We use the policies to fund some of that. We used policies for all sorts of stuff. I used policies to make charitable donations for tax reasons. But my house is a mortgage, just like many of you. We typically don't teach using your policy to buy your house. It's a huge, for most people, their house is a big investment, a big purchase. And to use all the money in your policy to go that long out, 30 years, is not always the most effective. We do teach that, but it's usually the last thing we would pay off because it's not the most efficient. We would pay off credit cards first. We paid off cars first. We do all that. We would take money and invest it in things we know, like, and understand. So that's how I'm doing it. But I am using velocity banking. Christy Van teaches that to pay my mortgage down much quicker. So hopefully I didn't go too long with that. But actually, it's funny thing is on the 3-day training, they're going to be talking about velocity banking too. And the Vault software, there's a whole segment on that. Velocity banking's baked into the Vault software. So again, tickets for this event, I'm going to throw them up again because I know with these things, people come, people go. You know, they don't always stay on for a long period of time, and I want to make sure that anybody that wants to come to the event has the ability to come. Okay, go to the bathroom, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about your giant fire truck here. Okay, this fire truck actually pumps water. Isn't that cool? You just turn, but I don't want to steal that because she wants to. Go to the bathroom. Kids are awesome, aren't they? They really are.
I don't know what
Yeah, you do. It's right to the right.
the light is.
Look up to your right. Look up. See that switch? Hold on one second. I got to turn the light on. Don't you go anywhere. All right. Sorry about that. I had to help her go to the bathroom. All right. So here's something that I wrote down because I can't always remember everything, folks. You know, so I write some things down that I think are really important and things that I want to share. You know, my mind's always got so much in it that I forget things. So this is what I write down, and I think this is really important. So I want you to really listen to this. I'll say it twice just so you can capture, okay? Because I think it's really worthy of that. The conversations we have, the values we demonstrate, and the decisions we make all shape what our children believe are possible. Can I repeat that? The conversations we have, the values we demonstrate, and the decisions we make all shape what our children believe is possible. You see, as a child, they don't know the restrictions and they don't think there are any restrictions. The world is theirs. They can do anything. And as we get older, the restrictions close in on us. The conformity closes in. Awesome. And that's such an important thing. Was that valuable for everybody? Did you guys get something out of that? I wish I could just put it in there, but yeah, I just think that's the key to everything. The decisions we make today matter because those decisions are what are going to shape the future for your child and what your child believes is possible or not possible. And how we talk to ourselves is so important to how our children will talk to themselves because they're just little sponges, right? They hear everything. They listen to everything. They want to know everything. You got to teach it to them. But what are you teaching them? Well, I can tell you, and this is the hard truth, and please don't get mad at me for saying this, but we teach them a lot of the wrong things.
Daddy,
We
can you
teach them
put
what we
my
were taught.
watch on?
Sure. We teach them what we were taught. And what were we taught, folks? We were taught to take our hard-earned dollars, and we were taught to take those hard-earned dollars and deposit them in someone else's bank.
No, I mean tight.
And in most cases, when we deposit it, and in most cases, when we deposit that money in someone else's, is that good enough? Mm-hmm. In someone else's bank, we don't even get interest. I bet you there's a ton of you on here that have money in the bank. I'm one of them. The money in my bank, I get no interest, right? No interest. So think about that. That's what we're taught to do. Give up control of our money to the bank. Then what does the bank do? Turns it around immediately and lends that money back out, makes that money go to work for the bank and makes a spread 400 to 1,300% more than you are making on that money in the bank. And that's a fact. That's BauerFinancial.com. Okay. So think about that. If that's what we teach our kids, are we setting them up to be successful? Holy cow, another truck, a log truck? All right, we're going to talk about how these people can buy all these. Actually, Nelson Nash in the book Becoming Your Own Banker talks a lot about logging.
And
so this is really, really.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Here, show them about
Guess
your log
what,
truck.
folks? The engine opens.
Show them the engine. Look at that. Big diesel engine. You know what? Felix, FCAT on here drives trucks. We got any other truck drivers on here? I always like to give a big shout out to our military, our veterans, and our truck drivers, keeping this
Daddy,
country
I can't
moving.
See.
What do you need? Oh, you got to take the glasses off. What are you trying to do? Open the hood?
No, I'm supposed to.
I'll close it. So the reason I like having Vivi come here is she just likes showing things and talking about things. But again, it's just what we do, what we say to ourselves, how we react, how we handle money, the things we do with money. They know. She's only 5. I'm teaching her what I can now. But as she gets older, when she starts making money from, errands and not errands, but allowances and all the different things, like I'm going to teach her what to do with her money. She's already going to have her private banking system. So there you go. You got Damien's a diesel. Hey, Vivi, Damien on here is a diesel mechanic. He works on engines like this. She said hi, Damien. And Damien, she needs to know that you send her those packages all the time, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, Legos. We build Legos all the time. But here, I think we got another incoming truck. Yep. What do we got here, Viv? All right. I'll set the logging truck down. What is this?
Folks, this is my favorite truck.
Tell them what it is.
And
Notice how she said folks because she hears me say it. Remember the decisions we make today.
The engine
let our kids know what's possible. Oh, look at the
opens
engine on that one. This is what Damien works on, diesel engines. This is definitely diesel. This is not a diesel. This is a gas powered. Why is this one your favorite, Beth?
Because
Does it make noise? Wait, are you serious? When you hit the horn goes off? I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Is that why this one's your favorite?
Yeah.
And what are these things right here? How about all of you? What are these called, right? What are these called?
You forgot to show the ladder to the fire truck.
Oh, yeah, I did. But what are these called? These are on a lot of your trucks.
They're called stabilizers.
Stabilizers.
Yeah, I got a lot of trucks in the basement that has stabilizers.
All
Guys,
right,
I really like trucks that they have stabilizers.
She really likes trucks that they have stablers.
Because they're my favorite.
The logging truck has stablers right here. Okay, set this one down.
Okay.
And then the fire truck, of course, has stabilizers on the side and on the back because when this thing goes up, this is what you wanted to show them? Oh, wow. Here, we can go all the way down here. Let's put it back on the floor, and then we can just keep having it go up. There we go. So you can actually put my water in there. All right, we're going to go save someone from a fire. All right, some people want me to get back to it. Jay said, okay, so at what point or policy is used for the elders who wanted to have
this thing really
reoccurring yearly income from their policy? Is there still HEC fee? A HEC fee, that's every policy we design is a HEC fee. It's a high early cash value policy, every single one of them. So they're all designed to have high early cash value. Get back to the question. So how they work is, I think that's John.
Daddy,
sorry, it's going down. Jay.
Look it.
I see, Viv, but we're talking to all these folks. We got like 80 people and we're losing people because they're trying to hear about the banking policies and you're showing them about the fire truck. But we'll get back to the fire truck in just a second, okay?
But I wanna.
Oh, you want to show them over here how you can fill it with water, and you're going to use all right, just a little bit. So this is not going to go well. She's going to put water in the fire truck. Jay, this is all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. The income stream that you can create from the cash value and the policies here, I'll do it. From the cash value and the policies would be built over time. It can be used as a volatility buffer against a 401k, which we've done that a lot. We've talked about that a lot. I even have YouTube's videos on that. But again, we'll be covering all this kind of stuff on the 3-day training tonight. I just really wanted to kind of bring you in, kind of talk a little bit about.
Can you connect this hose and this?
Give me that. Sorry, guys. It's going to be show and tell for a little bit. If you don't like that, I get it. If you got to jump, you can join us next weekend. at that 3-day blueprint training because Vivi's going to take over the show tonight. So hopefully all of you came here to learn about fire trucks and anything. There we go. Outriggers. Hang on, Vivers. Hang on. I'm trying to get it there. I'm not going to squirt my screen. All right. It's all set. Are you pumping it? Mm-hmm. All right. So we got to show some water. Keep going. And then once it's there, we'll put it up on the top. All right. Phoenix, yes, there's recordings. So the other thing too, some people asked earlier, I saw it. They were asking, is the 3-day training going to be recorded? Of course, we record them, and everybody that has a ticket gets a copy of that. And it's not just for a specific amount of time; it's forever. So just keep pumping it, Viv. You got to pump through all this hose. There's no kinks in. Oh, there it is. See, great. Now I'm gonna have water to clean up. I am thirsty. Just kidding. Huh. You're absolutely right, Patty. She won't stay a little forever. So if I got to clean up a little bit of water, get a little bit of water on my pants, which need to be washed anyway, then so be it. All right, let's put it up here. All right, there we go. So now your fire truck, you just got to route the hose. I'm enjoying it. I really am. Chris, you're 46. I'm actually 48. Let's see. You've used velocity. This is Mark. We're talking to Mark right now. Viv, you're getting water on everything, sweetie. Let's see. I'm 48 years old. I was born in July of 1977. Just want to read the rest of this. You've used velocity banking and eliminated all debt except the mortgage. Now, the debt was on its so I did a video back a while ago, and I'm going to be doing another one just so you all know, so everybody can kind of, Viv, please go get it. Go get paper towels. You got water everywhere. Please get paper towels. Hurry. I did a video on how I was paying my mortgage off in 66 months, and I had like 600 some thousand. I paid it down to under 350 grand, and then I got a giant tax bill. So I had to go and get a refinance and get a first lien HELOC. So I just had a traditional 30-year, Viv, a traditional 30-year, but I refinanced into a first lien HELOC. And then I took that money and we used a chunk of it to put into our private foundation, which gave us a tax deduction. And we used the rest to pay the taxes. So now my mortgage is back over $1 million, but it was 1.4 and it's down to 1.1. So that's the story on the mortgage. So I just want to make sure that we're correct. I'm always an open book. So used velocity banking, eliminated all my debt. All my debt was not eliminated using velocity banking. It was eliminated using the infinite banking concepts, using the specially designed whole life policies and the process. All of my debt. I even to today, excluding businesses, I have no debt outside of the debt to my own banking system and my mortgage. That is it. Even credit cards. We pay off our credit cards every single month. And we pay them off with, there we go, the infinite banking concept.
Where's my glasses?
You have let's see, he's saying all debt except, I think, didn't you put them right here? Sorry, Viv, I'm really struggling trying to do two things here at once. Answer questions and then do this, but it is your show, not mine. So banking eliminated all debt. Let me just answer these questions, please. In the mortgage that you're currently chunking, yeah, I'm chunking down my mortgage. That's how we're doing it. So I take bonuses that I get because in my industry, there's bonuses on a quarterly basis. And I also take just some of the income I make. And then if I do private lending deals, that all goes to pay down my mortgage. You have 2,000 to 4,000 cash flow a month. I have a lot more than 2,000 to 4,000 cash flow, but okay, I have 2,000 to 4,000. And what are you starting with life insurance? Mark, you can start any dollar amount you want into the specially designed whole lives. They're really designed and engineered around you and your savings, number one. So how much are you saving today? How much are you saving in the bank? How much are you saving in your 401k? Above and beyond your match. I never tell people to not put the match in. I think the match is free money, and I can't give you free money, but your employer can. So always put in your 401k up to the match. But then above and beyond that, I always tell people, if you got debt and you're putting 10, 20% into your 401k, that's foolish. It's silly. Back that down to the match, take the difference, put it through the policies, use those policies and the infinite banking concept to pay off your debt. We have software called the Vault that does all that for you. It's like a GPS for the infinite banking concept. So, Mark, great questions. Thanks for bringing those up. Sorry, some of the numbers weren't exact, but if you watched bits and pieces, I can tell you watched a few of the YouTube videos. It's just you got to kind of look at the date on them because things just change. Wish my daughters were her age. I know this is such a great age. It really is. VIP test gets the recordings. Absolutely, yes. VIP gets the recordings. I could arrange to have Vivi be on the 3-day. If that would get you to show up and make the decision to get your ticket, I could probably arrange to have Vivi show up on the 3-day. I would have her show up on the VIP. So the VIP tickets, like I said, are $97, a little bit more, but you get a lot more. So the VIP tickets, you get a heck of a lot more stuff. And there's more than what I can say. Shauna, here, maybe I can just read this to you. Shauna sent me this over. It's all the things you get with the VIP ticket, which is the $97. Here, let me put this up because I'm sure some of you don't want to go back. Here's the link. You just cut and paste that when I put it up there. So VIP for $97 gets you VIP attendance, priority Q&A, VIP questions are answered first, full event recordings, VIP only. Okay, so I misspoke. So the event recordings are only for VIP. Thanks for bringing that up, Tess. That's probably why you said that. Watch anytime. You'll be, and then you'll see after the event, we will sell the recordings, but they'll be $50. Okay. 2 exclusive VIP bonus sessions. So Friday and Saturday, there's a separate session only available for VIP. Session number 1 is going to be on family banking constitution. So if you follow What Would the Rockefellers Do or Garrett Gunderson, he talks a lot about build your family constitution. So we're going to be going over that and setting up and showing you.
Did you show this?
Not yet. Showing you exactly how to set up your own banking system that will then serve as your family, your Rockefeller family banking system, and how to do that. And then session 2 is tools to implement the family banking system. So there's tools, special legal entities, trust, and structures you would need to make your family banking system a real thing. So there you go. Those are the different things you get with the VIP. I think, is that going up on there? Like when I post it? Seems like it's working. Vivi, what are you doing? Stop that. All right. So Vivi wanted to show this truck. Here, come over and show it. So some of the diesel mechanics, like this is a pretty cool engine, right? You love this one. So what is this? You use this one all the time. Let's get them. There we go. What do you want to say about this, Rivers? Don't touch the computer. Oh, what are you doing? Please don't touch that because you'll shut it off. Don't touch the computer, I said. You want the pen?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with the pen? Okay. All right. Here, show them how it operates. You can even turn it. Whoops, there goes the pen. What do you pick up with this? You pick up your toys with this? No, don't do that. That'll break.
What if you cut it?
Then it'll break and it'll never work again. That's the thing at 5. They haven't learned that like some of the things you do to your toys means they never work again. Oh, thanks for the hug, Viv.
Oh.
Do you think this is a good topic, us talking about being your own bank?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. I think some of the folks on here think it's a good topic too. I personally think the military and the government workers need this 100%. So let me just go over a couple. I mean, I think everybody needs this, but there are certain professions and certain industries where money is certainly not taught. And when they do teach it, they teach it totally wrong. One is the military. I know they got USAA, but I can certainly tell you that, oh, shoot. Sorry, folks. Got to flash up. The military is kind of taught work hard. You have a pension. But you know this, Damien, like how many people do you know in the military that retire with a pension and can survive and live the life they want? How many do you know? Probably not many, but that's the case with many industries. The auto industry is like that. The trucking industry is much like that. So we really have to make decisions and do things differently. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in that. So remember I was explaining, like if your kids see you depositing money in the bank, they're going to do that. If they see you borrowing money from the bank, they're going to do that. If they see you complaining about debt and how expensive your car payment is or how expensive the car lease has gotten, they're going to hear that. You're building all this in them, which goes back to that thing I said, and I'll just read it one more time. The conversation we have, the values we demonstrate, and the decisions we make all shape what our children believe is possible. So, at this point, like at 5, it's easy because my daughter thinks all this is possible. She can have these big trucks. She can have the fire truck. She can have it all. But I mean, eventually someday someone's going to tell her, or she's going to learn in her life that it's not possible to have all these things. But is it not possible? You have a little car? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's a cool car. Can I put this over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I got a bum shoulder. So lifting things above here hurts. All right, what do you got there? Show them. Here, we should probably clean this up. Okay, let's clean this thing up, the pumper. But show them the car. What do you got here? What kind of car is that? Hold it up to the camera.
It's a 30. It's a 32. It's a 32 car.
It's a 32 car. So it's a red car. It's not a Porsche though. How come you didn't get a Porsche?
Oh,
Do you have a Porsche in there?
I
Probably does.
already have monster trucks.
All right, let's see. Shauna said, what if you cut it, then it's done? Yep, then it doesn't work. Actually, not such a bad thing. So maybe we should cut that so it doesn't work anymore.
Daddy.
Trying to keep up with all your comments, folks, and still keep this entertaining. Yeah, but this is awesome. There's still 80 of you on. That's phenomenal. Thank you so very much. A lot of times when Viv comes on, we either get a spike or we get a bunch of people dropping off. And, people that drop off are probably people that don't have kids or, just don't see the joy in having her come on these trainings and these things that we talk about. Because I'm just trying to seed you some ideas. The big training, the big education you're going to get is going to come from next weekend's 3-day blueprint. And that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. $47 general admission, $97 VIP. I've said that enough times. But the thing is as new people come on here, I can see new people are coming on, people are dropping off. I just want to keep saying it. So those of you that have been on the whole time, I'm not repeating it. I'm not trying to say it too much. I'm just trying to let all the people know. Hey, Viv, we're losing people. People are jumping off. We gotta make this exciting. You gotta find some fun stuff to talk about. All right, Longboarder. I love that name. Longboarder said, "Hey, Chris, it's Wes." I'm not. They're there. Here's Wesley. Okay, it's Wesley from Arizona. Been watching the videos this week. Starting point, I think, has shifted. Attack outstanding debt on a car and student loans first. Looking forward to our call. Absolutely, dude, you nailed it. So, Wesley, here's a big mistake we have, and I've been talking about it a lot more. I don't know if I ever didn't talk about it, but I'm definitely making it more prevalent. We get a lot of people that, listen.
A Model X.
A Model X? That's a Honda Civic. Close. It's a Honda Civic. We have a lot of people that will start a policy, and then they'll want to jump into investing because investing. That's really cool. Can I talk to Wesley for a second? Okay. So they want to invest money. Everybody's talking about the S&P 500, tech stocks. I would be very nervous about all this, but it's exciting, right? It's that risk, that gambler side. Viv. Where'd that come from? I don't know, Viv. Can I please finish? They start their policies. They go into real estate investing. They go into private lending. But what we really get the full story on the call, you're going to go on, Wesley, what we find out is that these people have a bunch of debt. There is no faster way. Let me say this, and please remember this. There's no faster way to build wealth than through your own debts and expenses. And I mean that. So, but you might not know what that means. I want you to think about it this way. If you've got credit cards and those credit card balances roll over and the credit card company is charging you 29% interest, that means that every month you're leaking money from your family. That 29% a year is gone. Now, think about that. I know a bunch of you on here are investors, real estate investors. Imagine finding a deal that was guaranteed. You could never lose money on it. And it paid 29%. How many of you would invest money in that deal that paid 29%? Every one of you. And you'd be like, it's guaranteed. This sounds too good to be true. Well, it would be too good to be true. There are no investments that are going to be guaranteed paying you 29%, just for the record. But if you were to pay your credit card off that was charging you 29%, using your policy, using the infinite banking concept, take a loan from your policy, pay that debt off, then take the payment. Yes, then take the payment from that credit card and put it back into your policy. Did you realize you just recaptured the equivalent of 29%? If you did that for 12 months, you did. You made 29% of your money because you recaptured 29% you were giving away. There's no faster way to wealth than that. Now, the reason why so many people invest is they've paid off all their debts. They have no debts. They've been doing this. They've been using their own banking system to get out of debt. So now they're on that next phase. It's like phase 2. Phase 2 would be investing in things you know, like, and understand. All right, Viv, your stage. I just had to explain that to Wesley. Look at that. Damien, he's got a Triumph 900 Rally Pro coming. Oh, I can't wait to see photos of that bad boy. All right. What do you got here? What is this? Oh, is that one of those trucks that goes on the airport? Is this one of the... Damien, you know what these are? Is this the trucks that pull the stuff at the airport? This thing looks like it pulls a lot. It looks like those things I see at the airport because it looks like it hooks up to the airplane and pulls the airplane out. Not sure. But what else you got? Hot Wheels. How many of you remember Hot Wheels when you were a kid?
I remember
tons of them.
Hot Wheels.
I do too. Hot Wheels. And what's this one, Rivers?
I never seen this one in the basket before.
Oh, that one looks fast. Looks got a big old engine in the middle, and then the cockpit is, I don't know where you sit. This must be one of those new AI-driven robo-taxis. How many of you want to get in this robo-taxi with that engine? Yeah, there's no seat for the driver.
Oh.
All right, let me see this. So somebody just said, been waiting to join for a year, but I'm one that is struggling with debt and can barely squeeze out at least 150, 200 a month. You should definitely jump on a call. And I know, let me hit this one. I'm not saying that there's a solution without working longer and putting in overtime and doing like a side hustle. I'm not saying there is, but I do want to tell you one thing. Restructuring debt, like how we would do it with the Debt Blaster. So, for you, one thing I'd love you to do, and I'm going to put it down here in the chat, is I'd love you to go to BYOB Vault. Okay. And I want you to use the free demo. And I just want you to enter all of your debts into the Debt Blaster. What the Debt Blaster is going to do, and it's totally free. You don't have to get a membership for it. What the Debt Blaster is going to do, oh my gosh, this thing's soaked. Can you lower this so we don't break it? Can you roll this here? I need you to do me a favor before I'm going to let you talk to everybody again. Come over here. Come over here. Roll your hose up. Okay. Go over there. Go on that side and roll your hose up and then put the ladder down so we don't break it. Because we have a bunch of other cars we want to show them, right? Monster trucks. That's got to happen first. We all have Hot Wheels. I love those things. But by restructuring and reorganizing all of your debt, Viv, I'm talking. So hush. Restructuring your debt in the proper order might provide some liquidity for you, might provide some different pathways to pay your debt off on a limited budget. There's some other things you could do. We just have to look at the debts, structure the debts for you, and then put them, in a way where it's going to create a little bit more liquidity, than 150, 200. I'm not saying that's not enough. My first policy was $240, not the one that I did with Brent, not the infinite banking policy, but my very first policy was $240. I've got a bunch of YouTube videos showing that policy and how valuable that policy is this late in the game. So again, all these strategies, paying off debt, doing real estate, the Rockefeller method, your family constitution for, setting it up for your kids so that their generation, your kids, you can pass your wealth on the most efficient way where they don't spend it all. Because you've heard about the Vanderbilt story, right? 3 generations, all the Vanderbilt's money was gone. It's just gone, right? That's what happens when you don't teach your children the proper ways that money works. And that's some of the stuff we're going to be covering next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Sean will put that up, but I'll just give it to you again. $97 VIP tickets, $47 general admissions. And I will see if I can get Vivi to go on because Vivi doesn't have snowboarding Saturday. It's going to be like freaking frigid here. So they're going to Disney on Ice. So maybe we could jump on Saturday and do that. Or Friday. Maybe Friday we could do it. Now that's next Friday. Next Friday, not tomorrow. Well, yeah. Did you take care of that? Yeah, look at that. All picked up. Good job. All right. What do you got? What is this? This is some type of tracked vehicle. Look at that thing. It's like a motorcycle with tracks on it. That's something like Damien would have. Merchant Marines. I'm sure they got things like this. They probably float on water.
Look at this little truck.
Who's this? Oh, everybody knows this. Who's that? Who's that handsome little guy? Who is it, Viv?
Garfield.
That's Garfield? Garfield. How many of you like Garfield?
Me.
You do. Purchased the Money Max last year, but fell into more money issues. Money Max is really expensive for what it does. I'm not saying it's a bad software. It's actually probably a really good software. It's just super expensive. Really expensive. Shauna, what were you saying about Damien here? Something about 30 grand? My next question is, on my next policy, should I do a small premium and a huge dump in or a large premium and a medium dump in? I got an answer for that, Damien. You should run the math on both and see which one works better. I couldn't give you an answer for that, but I would certainly run both of those scenarios and then see which ones work the best. That's how I would do it.
This thing is big.
Oh, that is big. It's like a paddy wagon. There we go. Yeah, old cars are cool. I look at all the new cars and they all look the same, don't they? But old cars, they just got class. They just got character. I don't know. I just always like old cars versus new cars. My wife's the complete opposite. She wants the newest technology and all this. Me, I want a 6-speed on the floor, a clutch that works, and I want that engine to rumble the car. That's what I want. What is that? All right. So let's see. Somebody said this is their first live. This is Miguel. Miguel said, this is my first live with you. Just learned about infinite banking in December and just got the Becoming Your Own Banker book last week. Woohoo! Miguel, you should join us next weekend. You'll learn a lot in 3 days.
Don't leave.
We're not leaving. I'm just telling them to join us next week. That's all. He's not going anywhere. Let's see. Shell said, yes, I brought a Brooke $4,000. Not quite sure what that means. Can you comment on my post? Sure. Let me go back. There's a lot of comments that come in. So AEC, let me find you in here. Where's your comment? Trying to scroll up. There's just a lot of comments here. And if you're up at the beginning, hey, there we go. Let's see. I was all in only to be denied because of health reasons. I'm contemplating whether I should learn any further after this larger than life disappointment really sucks. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like this is, I just talked about this earlier. You know, a lot of people like have something happen. We were talking about it on a podcast that was on earlier. Something happens, they get denied for something like a bank loan is what we were talking about on the podcast because I had Sebastian on. And, you know, I can't remember. I think it was actually Hillary Clinton, love or hate her. She said, you know, so many dreams die in the parking lot of a bank. Something to that extent. You can watch the podcast. But effectively what they're saying is, you know, when you get a no, or when something, I know, hang on one sec. When something doesn't work your way or something doesn't go your way or something, the outcome isn't exactly what you want. In your case, because of health reasons, don't ever give up. Don't ever stop learning. Like that is just so you know, I want to be very clear and I want to speak just to you. Viv, this is important. The policy, although it is important because you get uninterrupted compounding interest, the death benefit, it isn't everything. I teach all the time people setting up the infinite banking concepts from a bank account. Because listen, like you're here in the United States, which is a blessing. US and Canada, we both have these policies. But if you go over to like Australia or New Zealand, they can't get whole life policies. So because they can't get whole life policies, I have to teach the infinite banking concept, which is the process of paying debt off. But I have to do it from traditional vehicles. Do you have I would ask you this, do you have a 401k? That's another thing we could look at. But here's the thing, the main point I'm trying to make to you is don't stop learning. Just because you got, you know, told no for the policy, that's a temporary problem. That's a little problem that in a year we'll just retest, we'll retry it, and we'll go back at it. And we could try other carriers. I don't know what the circumstances. I'd have to look at the notes, but never ever give up. So that's my answer to you. Hopefully that was a good answer. What's up, Viv? Go ahead. You can tell them what you want. Big props to Sipple for the bob and weave through the book. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Page 65 to 85, part 5. Capitalizing your system and implementing, and then got page 51 to 63, equipment financing. So they're giving you parts of the book. What do you got? Go ahead, talk to them. Your show. Go ahead, tell them what you want to tell them. Well, I've been talking the whole time, Viv. You want me to? All right, tell them what this is. Is it a dune buggy?
Yeah, it's a dune buggy.
A dune buggy? Can you read what's on that paper? Here, let's read it together. Okay. So what does it say on this paper? It says, money with a mission doesn't start with dollars. It starts with decisions. Do you know what that means? Mm-mm. Okay. And then how about this one? Write your story you want your kids to tell. So write the story I want Vivi to tell. And then it says, wealth isn't just inherited, it's modeled. Okay. These are just like bullet point things that I had here. And then this one's really good too. I've read this like 4 times, but you can't hear it too many times. The conversations we have, the values we demonstrate, and the decisions we make right now all shape what our children believe is possible. Now, I know all your kids are different ages. Some of you have kids my age, younger, older, but still, you model what they learn. What you do is what they're going to mimic and do. Now, if they're older, it takes a little bit of time, but I'll tell you this, just the other day, one of my clients, been a client for a long time, had their son get a hold of me. and he's ready to start his policy. And listen, it took years for their son. He's an adult. He's not a kid, but it took years for him to start it. But he got around the campfire, started watching some videos, he started seeing it. Some event happened, and usually that's what kind of triggers people to get into this. Like they want to pay their debt off. They want to get all the money back for their cars. They want to do something, want to make money twice on the same dollar. So they find their way here. Joe Kovacevic, all of you probably know, took him 2 years. Like this doesn't have to be a fast process. It doesn't. It just has to be a continuing process. And that's why I keep telling you to join us next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for the Blueprint event, which is going to be epic. It's probably the best training we're ever going to do. We say that every time. But like if I ask Tess, haven't the trainings always gotten better? And this one's going to be better because we've just got more topics. We've got more stuff. Let's see. See, they've got right here. They've got a Hot Wheels collection. Yeah. I have 14, 11, and 2, almost 3. So Christian has a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, and an almost 3-year-old. How old are you, Viv?
5.
You're 5. What do we got here? Got some cool cars here. I don't even know what to call that. That is one of those ones that burns down the racetrack. Got the big back tires for traction. Okay, whoa, hold on. You know the rules. Take the log truck back. Don't go back without taking one of the trucks. We got to put them back after we show them. And then, I don't know, this is just like one of those old cheap. Remember when you were a kid, every once in a while, someone would get you a gift. You knew Matchbox, right? Matchbox just had the look, the feel. But then all of a sudden, someone would get you one of those cheap store-bought. Kmart was always the cheap ones. You know, if a Matchbox was 99 cents, this was 50 cents. It's super cheap. It's got like dumb plastic wheels, some like little Japanese rice burner car. Like, you know what I always did with these? I was like, nope, bring me the real deal. I want Matchbox or Hot Wheels. Don't bring me substitutes. There's a difference. There really is a definitive difference between a Matchbox or a Hot Wheels and the cheaper ones. Is there not? But that's also the case too. There's a difference with everything. Cost is only an issue in the absence of value. So you always have to look at the value first and the cost second, because if it's a value, cost is not as much of an issue, if any of the issue. All right. Jurassic Park. How many of you seen this? She got a Jurassic Park car. This is cool because this one, what just popped out of there? Is that a cone? So this one, like, you just got a thing that opens and closes the back. What else we got? Okay, we got ourselves a little Bobcat here. A little Bobcat excavator. She sees these around the neighborhood all the time, putting in pools.
Daddy, I saw one at school today.
You saw a Bobcat at school? Oh, this is a cool one. This is a Corvette CO6, I think. Did you get that?
I can't find it.
It was right over there. Here, take this truck back real quick.
I can't find it.
I don't know where it went, Fivers. Well, Vivi, I don't know. It just fell on the ground. Where did it go? There's a cone. I bet you it's over there. You had to have picked it up, Viv. It just fell on the floor. I just looked at it. Hey, Viv, you forgot a log.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. All right. So as we wind this thing down, we got 62 people. I really appreciate all of you. I love the fact that all of you gave my daughter an opportunity to kind of do show and tell. She loves it. Just freaking loves doing that. But I don't want to keep you here all night. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm kind of motivated to end this too because, Viv, stop screaming, please. Because I'm just at 9 o'clock tonight, which is in 1 hour from now. I'm ending a 3-day fast. So I'm not hungry right now because the 3 days you're in ketosis mode or whatever it is, but I still want to eat. So it's going to be a really, really amazing dinner tonight. And I'm so happy I got to share this time with all of you. And here's the thing. This has nothing to do with money or anything, but it has to do with health. I've been fasting, intermittent fasting every day. I've been doing this for over a year. And then I started this thing where I do 3-day fast one time per month. It's a kind of a pain in the ass, but I do it. And here's the thing I'll tell you. By the late second day, early third day, oh my gosh, Vivi, what are you doing? Third day, your mind is so clear. I mean, like crystal clear. Like the memory, the recall that I normally am a little bit cloudy, it just comes. You just got it. Like there's nothing. It's almost like superhuman. You ever see that movie? What was that movie where they took the pill and it like opened his brain up? Well, that's what kind of fasting does. I can't think what it is. Thank you so much. Somebody just said you are awesome and beautiful, Vivi. They said you're beautiful. Did you know that you're beautiful?
Uh-huh.
There you go. How do you say that? Autophage? Autophagry? Embarrassing myself. I don't even know how to say that.
Next!
Oh,
Let's
you're
start
welcome.
the
You're welcome.
museum.
I hope the advice was good. Vivi brought a whole nother dump truck of cars. Viv, we're going to have to do these cars next time because we're ending the live. Do you want to say bye to everybody?
No.
Oh, you don't? Well, what do you want to show them? Because we can't show them all this. We've got quite the collection here to show. So you saw the big fire truck. Here's the little fire truck, but this one's cool too because it's got the extender. What else? These two? I don't know what this is. It's another one of those racers. Pretty cool. It's got white tires. And then what do we got here? Does anyone know what this car is? I could probably look on the back. But here, let me give some of these folks that know cars well. What is that? It's not a Corvette. Could that be a Skyline? The back end? Here, let's look. Is this a Skyline? Oh, it's a Toyota Supra. Duh, I should know that from Fast and the Furious. Toyota Supra. All right. What else we got? And oh, check this out. Vintage. Rocking the vintage Hot Wheel. Old fire truck. So one of my friends, Harrison George, his dad has a whole collection of old fire trucks that he puts in different carnivals and fairs and parades. Yeah, that's a Supra. What's up, Tyler? It means self-eating. Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, so my body is actually eating like all the bad stuff, and it's regenerating all its cells, and it's literally like resetting. So a lot of people, fast for different reasons. Sometimes it's religious, which I definitely like to think that when I fast, I'm doing it for religious reasons because it's the first 2 days, it's kind of self-suffering, and I don't want to say that the wrong way, but you're really challenging yourself because day 2 is tough, and for anyone that fasts, day 2 is always tough. You're really contemplating. You test yourself. It's a very mental game. You got to keep your mind busy, and you got to keep your mind off of the things that your body's telling you need because you don't need food. That's just what your body is habitually trained to do. And but I do it for different reasons. So like right now, my reason for doing this fast is I hurt my shoulder snowboarding in BC. Now I know when you fast longer than a certain number of hours, we'll call it 72 hours, your body is producing so many stem cells. It is literally healing itself. It is fixing your body. Your body, I believe, I could be wrong. I think your body and what God gave us, your body can heal itself. But you've got to go through this process. God makes you what? You pray every night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm blabbing now. I'm blabbing. But anyway, I'm going to put it up one last time here, folks. One last time. I'm going to put the link up. Please buy your tickets. Join us next weekend.
I got a song you can.
You want to finish with the song?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to finish this thing up with a song. But grab your tickets. There you
No,
go.
I want to show a song in my phone.
/ So anyway.
I'll go get my phone.
Okay, but Vivi.
Stay on live.
She wants everybody to stay on live. Holy cow, you should see all the cars. I barely, I've got this much of the chair I can sit on because it's filled with cars. But yeah, grab your tickets. The sessions start Friday. There's a VIP session on Friday, and there's a VIP session on Saturday. And then there's also sessions on Sunday because it's a 3-day event. And if we wrote this down too, it's a 3-day event that can change how you use money forever. That's a good slogan, huh? How you use money forever, but not just you. It's how you use money, which then translates to how your kids use money. Okay, what do you want to play? Okay, we're going to close with this. We're going to close with this song. Mr. Bean.
No.
It's a good song, Viv. Where you at? Tyler, we're looking for forward to the call on Monday too. Good vibes, bud. People love this. I'm saying good vibes for the closing. What song is this? Do you play the piano? Mm-hmm. Is this how you learn how to play the piano?
Mm-hmm. I got another song.
I'm going to tell you all something. So,
I
What was that song you started playing the one day? Bluey, I think it was. No, wasn't Bluey. What was the song you played on the piano? I can't remember what it was, but one day,
I got another song.
Hang on, Viv. Okay. I'm going to pause this because I want to say something. One day, me and Loris were sitting there, and all of a sudden we heard Vivi on the piano. Every once in a while, she'll just jump over to the piano and start playing. But very quickly, that song actually sounded like a song we knew, and I can't remember what song it was. But, it was, remember, it was Youngblood. It was Youngblood's song. So Youngblood, the artist, right, the new rock star of the 2025 era. Anyway, she started playing, and it was his song. But here's the most remarkable thing. Somebody asked, how does she know, what that means? Stay on the line, don't go anywhere. How did she know how to play that song? She never learned that song. She didn't know the keys to use. She learned it through listening. She listened to the song. She listened to Larissa play the music. We took her to a concert. Yeah, some of you are probably not going to agree with this one. We took Vivi to a Youngblood concert. Youngblood, and he swears a lot. But nonetheless.
He swears?
No, he doesn't. And you shouldn't swear. But she learned that song by just listening. And now she uses this. We didn't give her this app. She just found this app. Now play it. Play the music. And we'll finish on this one. We're finishing on this one, okay? So everybody's going to be calm. This is it. This is Youngblood.
No.
No, what is this?
Bluey.
This is Bluey. That's right. Do you know how to play this? This is the Bluey theme song. And we're going to be watching Bluey tonight. Don't eat that. Okay, you think that's enough? So we can let these people get back to their night? Or do you want to finish it? She wants to finish it.
And I got a cool Bluey song.
So she puts this in front of her, and this is how she learns how to play the piano. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was something like that for us to learn how money worked? Wouldn't it be amazing if all kids took the initiative to go and learn on their own? Again, it all starts now. I want to finish with this final Bluey thing, but I'm going to finish with what I've said a bunch of times because I think this is a great way to close this out. The original for Lion King's epic too, but she hasn't heard that yet. She's not into Lion King yet. The conversations we have, okay, pause. All right, we're done. The conversations we have, the values we demonstrate, and the decisions we make today all shape what our children believe is possible. All right, she's just going to keep playing music. So, folks, thanks, everybody, for joining us. You can't. Oh, holy crap. And we got cats in the background. There's all sorts of fun stuff going on here. All right, we're done. Yeah, I need you to start cleaning up some of the trucks, okay? All right, folks, thanks so much for joining us. Yes, the real game of Monopoly. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.